Chapter 1: Sex and the Single Vampire. I was a slut. Not a realization I really wanted to face, especially while running on a treadmill. Pounding my feet on an endless path gave me too much time to think of my current situation, and just simply thinking about my situation was enough of a distraction to make me lose my concentration. And once that was gone, so was I. One foot hit the hard side of the machine while the other stayed planted on the tread as it was still rotating backward. I ended up flipping off the back in an act of involuntary aerobatics, which resulted in a painful attempt at the split. My ankle twisted, but that sharp jolt of pain was nothing compared to the agony I received when my kneecap rammed down hard on the concrete floor, followed by my elbow, then the back of my head as I rolled in an attempt to fall with some semblance of safety. Damn it! A history of sexual contortions seemed to be my salvation. Maybe it was a good thing I was a slut after all, as I was limber enough to move my body in a way required to avoid really serious injury to muscles and tendons, though when my head had collided with the concrete floor I'd seen stars. I thought as I lay on my back, stunned but not out, that it was better to get a concussion than to end up pulling a groin muscle, because current activities that I was required to do would have made that incredibly painful. All the concussion did was give me a temporary headache, which was easily taken care of with pain meds and a nice nap. So I lay there and just breathed to the sound of the still whirling treadmill. It was kind of soothing, until the intercom crackled to life. Sex, having to answer to the moniker of sex, wasn't conducive to shaking off my slut status. Sex, can you hear me? The proper British accent at the other end of the intercom was obviously concerned about my latest injury. I lifted my uninjured arm and gave the multitude of security cameras the universal symbol for everything's okay, a thumbs up. Do you require medical assistance? Slowly, I pushed myself up into a sitting position. The back of my head was tender, but it didn't feel like a concussion had set in. I had enough of those, courtesy of my captor these past months, to know when I had one. I quickly checked the rest of my body. My fingers moved, my toes wiggled. I was all right. I used the bars on the treadmill to pull myself to my feet. Oh crap, my injured knee was aching. It took my weight though, which was good, and I was able to hobble around the machine and hit the emergency stop button on the control panel. I sighed as blessed silence filled the room. Sex? I'm going to take a shower and then a bath. I could use an ice pack afterwards, I answered. Understood. The intercom crackled once more as the Brit signed off, and I limped my way over to the bathroom. While the rest of my prison was pretty basic, the bathroom was a spa worthy of a hedonist. Not that I was used to hanging out in a spa setting, but it was a damn nice place to retreat to for some soothing alone time when the jerk that captured me wasn't around. The shower itself was large enough to hold a small party in. Enclosed with thick, clear glass on three sides, the final wall was decorated with a brown tile, though it was more than just a boring brown, for it had gold flecks embedded in it that glistened in the light through the water that hit it. I had had my cheek pressed up hard against it enough times to really see it up close. One would think I would hate that place, since he liked making out in the shower, but there was a perk that I loved. The shower head had different settings. I preferred the long, wide head that mimicked a waterfall. I would stand there with the water cascading over my body and imagine that I was in a tropical paradise, rather than being a prisoner in a series of connected, sparse concrete bunkers. A cement room is a cement room, no matter how large it is. Stepping gingerly over to the tub, I started running the water. It would take a while to fill, so I knew I might as well get that started first. Then I stepped into the shower and let the warm water splash over me. There was going to be a lovely bruise on my elbow. My hip was starting to turn black and blue as well. I lifted my good arm and perched it on the back wall tile, resting my forehead on my forearm and allowing the water to ease my aches and to soothe me enough to think some more. I did a lot of that. Thinking, that is. I didn't start off as a slut. My captor had turned me into one by honing my body and my mind into that of a sex machine.